I don't know who's going to see this video or if anybody will ever see this video, but I figure I need to just kind of get the history down so that it's not completely lost. Maybe someone will come along after me and they'll see this and maybe this will help them out. I don't know. But 3 weeks ago, there was an EMP attack on the United States of America. And as far as I can tell, all power is still offline. Coast to coast, everybody seems to be without power. We've had some more ham communications from around the country and also in other countries. And this is not just localized to the United States. Apparently, this is a worldwide event. From the intel we're gathering so far, this is a worldwide event. So I don't know if it was an EMP or if it was some sort of a kill switch on the internet and they just took everything down. No one really knows what happened. But we do know I saw a big flash in the sky and I heard a big boom on the day of the event. So it could be that it's a combination of multiple things, that maybe it was a cyber attack and an EMP all at the same time, or possibly a solar flare. I'm not completely ruling that out, but I don't expect a solar flare to make a boom. So anyways, fast forward to today, we're 3 weeks after the event. And a few days ago, me and a group of 3 other people went out on a reconnaissance mission. And we took my black Chevy, Black Betty, we took her out and I had 3 people in the back of the truck and I was driving and suddenly we were ambushed. Basically a group of people, we didn't know it, we didn't see anything coming. We were driving down the street, looked like a clear road, and suddenly cars pulled out and blocked the road in front and behind, and we were surrounded. The 3 people that were in the back of the truck, they were already set up with their weapons on the ready. They were ready to go, so they engaged, but the numbers were just not there. I mean, we had 3 people against, I don't know, I'm guessing 20 to 25 people. We couldn't see them all, but there were at least 20 people around that were heavily armed, and I lost 3 of my companions. I don't know if they're captured or if they're dead or what, because when the bullets started flying, everybody jumped out of the back of the truck and scattered. Once I saw that happen in my rearview mirror, we were sitting there for a moment with our hands up, pretending like we were going to just go along with them. And then once I saw everybody scatter and the gunshots started going, I went ahead and smashed the gas, and it was a small car. They had a small car up there blocking the way, so I smashed the gas and ended up doing some damage to my truck, a little bit of a water leak, but I was able to push through that barricade. And so I got out of there. I tried to circle back later on to see if any of my companions were, had regrouped or anything like that, but I couldn't find any evidence of anybody. The people that ambushed us, and we'd never seen these people before, so I don't know if they were from the city and they came out and they're just starting to probe out here into the countryside more and more. So anyways, long story short, I turned back and I went over here. This is my bug out location. My wife and I, before the stuff went down, we bought this land over here and we've been starting to kind of prep it up and get it ready for this kind of event. Unfortunately, I don't really have a proper house here. I've got an old crappy mobile home trailer that's really disgusting, but I've been staying in there for the past couple of nights just until I can figure out what to do. Yesterday, I tried to go back to my neighborhood. And the problem was, as I was approaching, there were several roadblocks along the way that weren't there when I left. So I don't know if this is a coordinated effort and this is the same group or what, but they're heavily armed. I suspect it's the same people. So I don't know what's going on, but I do know this. Essentially, from what I can tell, my neighborhood appears to be under siege. I do have my AR here with me, and I can actually engage quite a few, multiple targets with this AR. It's got a scope on it, so I can get them from far away. I can engage from far away. My problem is I'm down to 1 magazine because, well, when things went bad and everybody started, jumping out of the truck and all that, and I had to hammer on, what I didn't realize is that my bug out bag that I had in the back of the truck, it either fell out or one of the people that jumped out of the truck grabbed it and took off. Well, that had all my extra magazines and my extra accoutrements in there. So I'm kind of in a bad situation here. I've got 1 magazine. I do have my Glock on my side, so I've actually got 17 9mm. But again, that's for up close and personal. That's not going to do me any good in a siege situation. So I'm really concerned about what to do. My wife is back at the neighborhood, and so are everybody else that I know anymore. They're all back there in the neighborhood at my house, and of course I've got extra magazines and stuff like that there, but I have to get to that point. I've considered sneaking in just because I'm by myself and I can use the cover of darkness. And I don't know if you guys are going to hear it or not, but it's been a really windy past couple of days. It's been really windy, so I'm using that to my advantage. They can still see me, obviously, and unfortunately I don't have any camo or anything, but I do have this brown shirt, so whenever I start getting, you know, close to people where I think I need to be more invisible, I can just tear this jacket off here and hide that in my bag, and then I'm somewhat camouflage. But that's been a real problem, is that, you know, they've got binoculars and other stuff, scopes and different things, so they can see me a long ways away. So I've been really just kind of going up and just probing. But basically what the situation is just up over this hill back behind me here, and it's about a half a mile away. But up over this hill and a half a mile down is where the neighborhood is. So I've got to figure out how I can get over there. Like I said, maybe using the cover of darkness, but basically my people are trapped in there right now, and I've got to get in there and try to not only resupply, but make contact with them. Now, I do have my radio with me. I left it back over in the truck. Anyways, my plan is this evening, I'm gonna go in as soon as it gets dark. Hopefully the wind will hold. Sometimes the wind dies down after dark, but hopefully the noise of the wind will hold tonight, and I'll be able to use that to my advantage, because if they can't hear me, as you can see right now, there's a whole bunch of leaves all over the place. It's, you know, they haven't quite blown away or disintegrated yet from the fall, so there's leaves everywhere. So even walking through the woods, I can't do it quietly. Even if I try my hardest, I can hardly go through without making a noise. So what I've been doing is using the wind to my advantage. When it's a real windy day, then that's when I can sneak around and I won't be heard. That at least eliminates one of the senses that could give me away. So now we just have to deal with the sight, and I've been thinking about a couple of things. For one thing, this is far too white, so I could take this over to a muddy mud hole or something, and I could, you know, get this whole shirt soaked down to where it would be at least a little bit darker, and maybe these colors wouldn't show as well in the woods. So anyways, that's what we've been up to. I'm trying to figure out how to get back in. And I do have my dog. I don't know if you saw him walking around over here, but Ranger Boy, he's with me. And he's been a great asset because he uses his canine hearing, and that gives me a chance to get some sleep. And I've got a place up the hill here where I've dug a little foxhole, and I've made myself a little a frame that goes over the top of that foxhole. And so if I have to, I can jump in that hole and get Ranger in there with me. And as long as he can keep quiet, then nobody will be able to see us. So otherwise, I've been staying up in the little trailer, the junky trailer, and I do have made myself a new exit out of the back of that trailer. That's not the main door. That way, if somebody comes in, I won't be cornered in there. I've just punched a hole in the back wall so I can get out. I know it's not the greatest thing, but it's what I had to do. The trailer's junk anyways. Even if we weren't going through this SHTF situation, the trailer needs to be scrapped. But until then, I'm glad I have it. I have some structure, and I have the 2 shipping containers up there as well. Although I don't like being in the shipping containers because there's only one way in and out of the shipping container. So I'd be easily cornered in there, and especially, you know how it is if you're sleeping or something like that, then you're not going to be super alert, and people could come in and take advantage of you, and you'd be trapped in there. So I've been staying in the trailer. It's not ideal. I know there's a lot of bugs and mice and stuff like that around. Been about 3 days since I've had anything to eat. It's pretty rough. I do have water. I've got the pond over here, and I've been boiling up the water coming out of the pond, and I'm able to drink that. And I've actually, well, yesterday there wasn't much going on, so I spent a good portion of the day boiling and preparing water, filtering water. You can make yourself a filter if you've got some old bottles and stuff like that, and you've got some charcoal and different things like that. You can make yourself a pretty good filter that will get a lot of the sediment and dirt out, and it'll be less bad for drinking. And of course, I'm boiling it as well. Okay guys, I just heard something back here in the background. I think it was a voice. So I'm gonna have to stop the video here. When things calm down here in a minute, we'll turn it back on and I'll show you guys my plan of attack.